welcome to my channel. My name is Kate Bassi, and I just want us to look at the just concluded eviction show for week 5 in the ongoing Big Brother Niger season 6 Shine Your Eyes edition. Okay, all right, so the eviction show from last night saw us bidding goodbye to 3 housemates. That's Sammy, JMK, and Maria Chike Benjamin. Her eviction is like the highlight of yesterday. Yeah, like the highlight. Okay. So here's the thing. I'm seeing that some camps are coming up with the narrative that, oh, Maria was being used completely and dumped, and that's not the first time we're hearing this, by the way. Like every season there's always speculation that somebody is in that set that's been planted by the organizers to, run things for them and be the winner eventually or something. Now, time and time again, when this kind of predictions are made, we see that at the end of the day, those people may come close, but they never win. Now, here is the thing. If you're being very honest with yourself, you would completely see that, in all honesty, there's really nothing much the organizers can do to keep you in the house if you do not play your game well. I mean, at best, they can influence you getting on the show. I mean, that's a given, yeah? The moment you walk through that door as an individual housemate, every responsibility regarding how far you'd go in the game is solely dependent on your conduct. Take it or leave it. Either they give you a special assignment to do something in the house. It is your delivery that determines if that's going to be a gain or a loss on your path. Remember, the show is a social experiment. You know what you signed up for. And this means, and there's also a clause that says Big Brother reserves the right to change or do whatever in the game as it goes on. So you have to be so mentally at alert and know when you should flip your game, when to tone it down, when to raise the bar, when to shake up some drama. It's something you should be prepared for when you sign up for the show. Maria came in as a wild card, fully aware before walking on that stage that she was going in there as a wild card. So what this means is that her first responsibility as a wild card was to protect that identity. Do you understand? Wildcard literally means fake housemates. And the clause was that if the other housemates, if anybody could correctly guess the 2 wildcards among the 22 housemates, that's why there was an extra 2. So the 22 housemates, if the 20 housemates could guess them correctly, they walk out the door. Now, here is the thing. Even the wildcards do not know who the second wildcard is. That is, Maria didn't know Perry was the next one. Perry did not know Maria was the next one. But the only assignment they had individually was to protect that identity that they had, which we saw they played it fair enough. I mean, I was personally rooting for Maria in the first week because I felt like that's a whole burden to carry. You literally have to lie every time just to pull through that week. I get it. And she did excellently well. At least we saw that. Yeah? Now, after the whole wildcard revelation and all that, and towards the end of it, she and Perry kind of started to fidget. So, white money figured them out and all that. I'm sure you'd watch it in previous videos that I've made, so I can't go into too much detail. So all I'm saying is, at the point where they had been revealed, now there's already tension because these housemates now realize that, okay, we're not as smart as we think we are, so we have to be on our toes now. Not like they didn't like Maria or Perry, they just felt like you were up in our faces the entire time and weren't looking towards your direction. So it kind of brought more attention towards their direction. Like, okay, if you can play the wild card, maybe you're some kind of favorite, the organizers might decide to keep using you for stuff. Do you get? Now, that aside, let's talk about task engagement. Maria isn't exactly the delivering type when it comes to task. And I mean this physical, intellectual task. She wasn't quite bringing it. She didn't. How many wins did she have in the house? Almost none. The mini-me task that she won in a group was because there was white money, there was Pere, there was who else? People that she could not fully control. Because when Maria is in a team, she is bickering over nothing. Like somebody's trying to bring an idea. Maria is the one that will say, oh, please, 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 can I say something? Can I say something? And they're like, okay, talk. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that, because personally, blah, 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 blah. And she ends up saying nothing. Now, that has always affected her team. And when they finish a task, even before the results are read out, Maria is the one who's going to say, oh, you, on stage, you are doing this, you are doing that. I know we did rubbish. I know we did nonsense. She talks them down. So mentally, when they are even selected in teams with Maria, some people already zeroed their mind that they are losing. It was that bad. So how did the organizers influence that? How did they make her behave like that? That was completely on her. Move away from that. Let's get into the week she won HOH. If you recall very well, that was the only HOH game that they did not have to start counting with a 6. Do you remember? So it was literally as if they just wanted how's it called, the game to be faster, have a winner, and give the person the assignment to tweak. It just happened to be Maria. I mean, Sasuke had 25, Maria had 26. It was one dice different. One score different. So it's not something you can say they planned it. It was right there. We all watched it. They have to throw the dice physically for us to see. And the other 20 housemates were present. It's not anything that was already written somewhere. Then they asked them to ballot. Then they've told Maria, okay, it's the one that has a blue mark on it that you should pick. Your own is different. It's not. When she now won the HOH and they gave her that task of, okay, this week, there's not going to be eviction. All you have to do is not tell them that there's no eviction. Let them respect you. Let them worship you, impress you, whatever. At the end of the day, if you succeed in carrying this out successfully and they don't suspect anything about fake eviction, then you get a reward. Now, in her head, because she's always, I don't want to use foul words, but, she thought that most likely the reward is going to be immunity for her. And that got into her head and she misbehaved all through that week. From the moment she walked out that door, she was throwing tantrums constantly. And remember, she had just taken over from what's his name, Pere, who was a dictator in his own time and made all of that mess. So when she took over too, and she knew that, there's this extra peg on it, she was doing the whole thing. And then that Saturday night, she sat down with her senses intact. She wasn't even high. She told Pere to take off his microphone. I mean, come on, guys, seriously. And remember, they had to impress her that week. So imagine when the person that you have to impress she happens to be somebody you trust the most in the house as your girl, tells you, take off that thing, which was the mic. In his mind, there was no way he would have thought that was something that, it didn't happen fast, but it just wasn't easy to process that, okay, this was going to get me into a serious mess. I'm not making excuses for him. I think he should have been smarter, but I'm saying that she literally lured him into that situation that earned him a strike. Now, the next day, which was Sunday, the eviction show from last week, which no housemate left, Big Brother issued her a strike for that particular conduct. And this is not going to say she has not been misbehaving all through. She has gotten several microphone infringement warnings. In fact, that Saturday night, she got 4 straight microphone warnings, infringement warnings. If you watch it, 4 in quick successions. I'm telling you, like 1 minute interval. We have seen it in the past that those kind of things, they earn you double strikes. So this set is been very lenient on all of them, in fact, not just Maria. Now, that strike that she got, remember, JMK got a strike too for removing her mic, for entering the jacuzzi with her mic. Pere got a strike too. But look at how those two played their week. In fact, Pere toned down to an all-time low. We have never seen him that quiet and nice and mingling with everybody and just loosening up. We were all surprised, pleasantly. So there's no way that is excusable for Maria to start being bitchy just because she was up for nomination. So all of that tantrum she was pulling, insulting people. Did you listen? I posted videos of when she went into the lounge with Peace and Nini. Did you listen to the things she was saying? She'll be ashamed of herself if she watches those clips. So we can't keep making excuses for people with bad behavior. We have seen it time and time again, and it looks like every season they come with amplified madness to the show. It doesn't make sense. She killed her game by herself. Accept it. It won't kill you to say the truth. Accept it. She played herself dirty. Even as she dragged other people into her dirt, they are lucky that they're still in the house. So for Maria, it was long overdue. It was really long overdue. Yeah. So let's just put that aside and stop with the whole, oh, she was cheated, she was blah blah blah, she was used, nah, she played herself simple. Now let's talk about the voting card. What we saw on the card yesterday. A lot of people are also surprised, like, really? So if it was 4 housemates that would have gone, it would have been Pere. Hell yeah. What were you expecting? I predicted the lineup hours, like 9-10 hours before the show. I knew it was definitely Sammy that was the least. I knew it was definitely JMK that would go next because she was the least female on that lineup with when it comes to her fan base. And she didn't particularly do anything while the voting lines were open to influence it. Now, that's where people get it wrong, especially housemates that go for the show. When you're up for eviction, once the voting lines open between 9 p.m. on Monday till 9 p.m. on Thursday, that is your time to change the game. That is your time to change the game because your handlers are doing their best outside promoting you. Your fans are doing their best. Oh, people should vote. Now, for instance, you have been the laid back one and all of a sudden your name is popping up on the timeline like, oh, please, blah, blah, blah. People now want to pay attention like, let's even see this one that my friend is talking about, this girl. Let me see what she brings to the table on the show. And then they watch you snoring away. Or you're just eating and lazing around the house. Or it's time for a task and you're acting uninterested. Nobody gives a shit. They would look the other way and find someone else that interests them. It's just that simple. So GMK got laid back, like she was just tired already. She wanted to leave. I get that. Samuel also had the angel situation going on in his head. So as far as he was concerned, he wasn't even putting in any effort to stay. Now, Queen, on the other hand, Queen upped her game in the last week. When she entered, the first week was quite, dramatic for her. In fact, the second day she got in, she and Maria had a face-off. And as much as she was, a lot of people did not support her. You'd remember that fight she had with Maria 2 days in. Most of the people on the timeline were calling her Tuza Queen. She's doing the most. She just came in, let her calm down, all that. But see how she used it to her advantage. When people who were in the game older sat her down, people like Tega, people like White Money especially, spoke to her and said, look, tone it down. Don't make yourself a target. Tone it down. She did. The difference is that she didn't allow herself be a walkover. But when it came to all that, anger and all that, she dropped it. And you can see how that worked in her favor. Now, the lineup is also where you can project who is likely going. Like I said, from the entire conduct that they bring to the table while the voting lines are open. So that gives you an idea of who is going to be up and who's not, who is going to be up on the chart and who's going to be at the bottom. Not just that, you now look at the lineup, the standings of the lineup. Who are the housemates that they are associated to in the house? What are the strengths of the fan base of those people they are associated to in the house on the outside? Are you getting the mathematics now? Now, Cross has succeeded in being the life of the party, the game master of the house, the outspoken goofy cruise guy, the what's it called again, the guy who defends, I mean, anyone who needs to be defended. We saw that what he did with white money situation and all that with Pere. So we knew that Cross was solid on the outside. Maybe not too solid, but on that lineup, he'll definitely get favors from other fan base, like White Money's fan base, like Sasuke's fan base because he's friends with her, like Liquor Rose's fan base because Liquor Rose replaced him with her veto power. So out of sympathy, people feel like, oh, he wasn't even supposed to be there, you know, stuff like that. So you can understand how his votes are going to build up. Queen, like I said, she's literally White Money's favorite girl right now. And then there is her putting in effort. Have you seen how much that girl has won? She came in 2 weeks late. Somebody like Boma that is making mouth running up and down. Boma has only 350,000 to his name. Queen is talking about millions. Oh, I think, yeah, over 1 million. So that's to tell you people that put in the work. So there's no way you expect that people will not like that kind of person and vote for her. Now, Pere's case is, Pere is a villain. Pere being up against Maria, Cross, Queen can only mean one thing. Only Pere's fans will vote for Pere. Simple. Simple mathematics. Only Pere's fans, like his strong, loving fans, that will vote for him. Him and Maria actually share fan base, so it makes it worse. So half are going to be on this side, half are going to be on that side, which is not favorable for both of them. So at the end of the day, what we can tell you officially is that Pere has 14% strong fans. Now that Maria is out, her fans can focus on him. It just makes sense. So by the next time that he's up, it's going to depend on his conduct from tomorrow, if he's going to gain more fans, but at least we know he has 14%. So going forward, if he drops in his conduct, that 14% will reduce. If he improves, the 14% will increase. Simple logic. It's not rocket science. Do you get? So that's just how it works. I feel like people who just come out to say, oh, this person, they cheated this person out of it, they cheated, nah, ain't nobody got time for that BS. At least not in the way it's now online voting. It's way more transparent. The voting is way more transparent. You can say it's not as interesting as when we used to have the SMS voting, you know, there was the fun and paparazzi in the bands, getting people to vote manually and all of that. But now that it's the internet, it's kind of more stiff, but fair. I can tell you that. So that's it. Thank you guys for always staying tuned. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications so that you know when I drop a new video. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.